Hey everyone, this is Yami, your Latina next door. Welcome back to my channel. I hope this video finds you well and healthy. Since we're all stuck at home and not experiencing that luxury of going into Goodwill, our local thrift store, or even the Dollar Tree these days, so myself along with several other YouTubers have decided to bring you guys a fun collaboration where we're gonna craft with whatever is in our stash. Alright, so for my first DIY, we're going to use this little plate. It's like a candle holder from Dollar Tree. And we're also going to use that little candle that you see right there. I'm not really a fan of Dollar Tree candles, but I did like that little container and that's what I'm going to use. The first thing I did was put the candle in a hot pot of water, have it melt, and then pour it out and clean the container. Next, I made sure both surfaces were clean and I used a little bit of rubbing alcohol with a cotton pad. Doing this makes sure that there is nothing that would prevent the two surfaces from adhering together. I use E6000 to adhere the bottom of the candle holder to the little plate. Next, I took some gray chalk paint that I had on hand, and with this bouncer, added that chalk paint throughout the entire container. I did the top, underneath the plate, and on the little candle holder on the bottom. So what I'll be doing with this is giving it a faux galvanized look, and I have a complete tutorial on what I use and how you too can create this look on any surface. I'll go ahead and make sure to link in the description box below, that way you guys can check it out after this video. Once that was dry, I used some of my brush metal in the dark gray and spounced all over the surface as well. Next, I took the brush metal paint in the brushed silver and repeated the process. Now, because this was a small surface, I wanted to try another technique and use little Q-tips dipped in paint to give it a little bit more texture. And then after I would apply the paint with the Q-tips, I would spounce over them, and it actually came out pretty cute, I think. And then finally, I add my antiquing wax to the edges, and I am so sorry. Apparently, I use my middle finger to apply the paint all the time, and I forget that I have to film. It's just the finger that works best for this. After this, you can spray on some polyacrylic to protect it, and you're done. Now, when I shared this idea with my YouTube friends, we were all very excited and everybody wanted to join in. So there are a lot of very talented ladies on this group. I'll have a playlist in my description box below. That way you can check out the entire series and get even more inspiration. I hope these bring you some fun positivity right now. For the next project, remember that basket that I made for my plant in my last Trash to Treasure video that started as a coaster? Well, the coaster was for this little hurricane. I had picked this candle holder at Goodwill a few weeks ago and it was only 79 cents. It was not in the best shape, but it had beautiful form. So I decided to paint it, and I used my white Adirondack chalk paint that I use all the time. I only gave it one coat, and after it was dry, I got out my aged glaze. I use this also in my Trash to Treasure, and I showed you guys how to create a beautiful wooden picture frame out of any cheap dollar store frame. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do it with a candlestick, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time just to show you guys that you can actually layer on and make the item look even richer and deeper. So I'm going to go ahead with my first layer the exact same way I applied it onto my frame in the previous video. And I'm going to do long strokes. Now it already looks really nice with this first layer. However, once you let it dry, you can apply a second coat and you will see that it will look even more like wood. Then once this is dry, you can leave it bare or add a top coat. And that's it. This candlestick is done. And here it is with a hurricane. I decided not to glue it because I'd rather have the option of using it with or without it. Alright, this next one is really easy. I had this frame from Michael's that I bought a while ago, and I wanted to create this decal because I have had the perfect sign for us coffee lovers. I love coffee, I drink it almost every day, and I finally got a chance to create it. And as you guys can see, it is a Spanglish version of But First Coffee. This actually was my biggest decal to date. It does measure 8 by 10, the actual lettering, because the frame was 10 by 12. So I wanted to make sure it was substantial. And this decal, as well as other ones that I've created, is in my shop and it is open. So I'll go ahead and link to that in my description box as well. And that was it for this DIY. Oh my goodness, I absolutely fell in love when I made this. I love it. I cannot wait till all my renovations are done so I can actually put it up at my coffee station because this is perfect. Alright, final DIY. For this, I am using this little sign that you have seen, I'm sure, in the past at Dollar Tree. I've had it for a while now and I've never done anything with it. A square dowel and a small embroidery hoop. You guys know I always have those at home. And then a second square dowel that's a little bit smaller. First, it was time to remove the backing because what I'm going to use is the mirror. And look how dusty that was. It definitely tells you how long I've had it. So I wiped the mirror down and then took that larger dowel and made some markings in order to create a frame for it. And you know it, I am using my cutting shears. Have any of you guys bought these yet and checked them out? They are amazing. I'll go ahead and link them down below as well if you guys want to check them out. So next I centered the embroidery hoop in the center of the mirror and made sure it was in the right space before applying a little bit of tape to hold it in. So then I can take the smaller square dowel and place it along where I want it on the frame. And I wanted 4 different pieces coming from the sphere. I measured them and cut them to size. I sanded the ends of those along with the ends of the ones that I cutted previously for the frame. After everything was cut, I took my favorite antiquing wax, mixed it up with a little bit of water to water it down, and used it to stain my wood pieces. And what I like to do is I like to paint it on and then with a dry paper towel, rub off the excess. I needed a couple of supports when I added the wooden frame around the mirror, so I just had these large popsicle sticks and I cut off the rounded ends and I used some E6000 as well as a little bit of hot glue to adhere it to the back, kind of to give me a little lip so that I can put the wooden dowels on. After they were dry, it was time to add the dowels. And I use a combination of hot glue and E6000. Now, if you like this idea, I have a detailed video on how you can do this on a much larger scale, and I'll go ahead and link it in the description box below. That way you guys can check it out also. So then after all the side frames were adhered, I dry fitted the center pieces and then I began to glue them on. I use E6000 for the sides that we're going to lay on the mirror and then a little bit of hot glue to the ends that we're going to touch the little frame. I used some alcohol and a little Q-tip in order to get any excess residue from the sides. And then with the help of either a command strip or a little piece of jute glued onto the back of it, you can hang it up super easy. And here's this cute little mirror. I love how it turned out. So let me know which one of the projects was your favorite. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more DIY inspiration like this. I wanted to say thank you so much for your support. I wish you all the best. Please stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, adios.